Hello, Dolphin fans. This is Juan with your Dolphins news. This is actually my first episode for the Dolphins. Here is April 30th, 2018. I'm gonna go over the draft picks. Just went on about 2 days ago. So I'm just gonna go over the draft picks, and then after that, how I feel about the draft. So let's get right into it. Number one, they got Minka Fitzpatrick. I think is a great pick from Alabama. Played with Nick Saban. Most people know about him. Great player. He can play safety, cornerback, slot corner, even linebacker if you need. He's big enough to do that. He's a great player, I think, and also I like the pick because we haven't had a free safety in so long. It's been about 7, 8 years, to tell you the truth. A true free safety, right? It's been about 7, 8 years since Jeremiah Bell time, and maybe a little bit before. Our safeties haven't been that great. We've had one good safety for a lot of years, but not the other one to pair them up. Not that they haven't been good, but they just haven't had a real true free safety. And I think that Fitzpatrick could definitely do that. Okay, so I'm very excited about the pick. He's a hard worker. He has great talent, but on top of that, he's a hard worker, and that's what takes you to the next level, like you know. All right, so I'm very happy with that. Let's go move on to second pick. The second pick is Mike Gesicki coming out of Penn State, receiving tight end. Notice how I say receiving because blocking, he doesn't do so well. But, as the years go on, maybe they could teach him how to do that. But the main reason that they got him is because they need a red zone threat. They need a tight end that can catch the ball. We haven't had that in 7, 8, maybe 9 years. Because we had Charles Clay, but Charles Clay the first year he didn't know what position he played, fullback, and he didn't know. Second year, he was going more to tight end, and we only saw a glimpse of him here and there. But the third year, he kind of blew up a little bit, and that's when and then the fourth year, he moved over to the Bills. So we really haven't had a great tight end in a long, long time, and it's really hurt us. So I like this pick because he is a receiving tight end, somebody that you could have in the red zone, and I love that pick for that particular reason. Also, not only for the red zone, but during the field, you could put him down the middle. You could put him down to the side. He's 6'6" with a 41-inch vertical leap. Who has a 41-inch vertical leap and is 6'6"? How many players in the NFL? If there are any players in the NFL that can't go up there with him, it's a handful, and I like those odds. So I like this pick. Okay, you can teach him how to block later on, but for right now, he can get you those first downs, get you those yards up the middle, or get you those touchdowns that you need, or at the very least, be a decoy. Okay, but I think he's going to be more than that. All right, so the third round, we went ahead and got Jerome Baker. Jerome Baker, I like because of his speed and his athleticism. I said that word wrong, but whatever. We'll keep on going. I just like that he makes plays. He looks like he can make plays. I don't think that he's going to be a starter right away. He might be if he shows something else. He did play with Raekwon McMillan in Ohio State the year before. Okay, but, I think they're going to be interchanged, him and Stephon Anthony. But I do like the pick because in this NFL, nowadays you need a fast linebacker. He runs a 4.5. Pretty fast. His blazing speed for a linebacker, but he is on the small side. He's about 6'1". He weighs 230. If you could put another 10 pounds on him of muscle, and he runs the same speed, that's something to look at. Okay, 240. Now you're getting closer, right? Okay, so I do like that pick, and I do like that because we definitely needed depth. We definitely do need that. I think we need a little more, too, on the linebackers. Because last year, if you wanted to beat the Miami Dolphins, what you wanted to do was pass to the tight end or pass down the middle. That's how you beat them, and it was ridiculous. And we haven't had good linebackers in a long time also. Okay? So the fourth round, they got Durham Smythe out of Notre Dame. He could remind you of a Tony Fasano. He's a blocking tight end. So we got a receiving tight end, and now we got a blocking tight end. Okay, so he'll get up in there in the run game. He'll block. He knows how to block. He's one of the best blocking tight ends coming out of the draft. If you look at him and you look at Tony Fasano, they're kind of similar. Tony Fasano, of course, is a little bigger. Is bigger, but and he has, Tony Fasano went to Notre Dame, so actually Durham Smite, he watched film on Tony Fasano on how to be a tight end because Tony Fasano's big deal in Notre Dame. Okay, so I'm glad that they doubled down on tight ends also, because like I said before, we haven't had tight ends in a long time, and it's hurt us for many years. That's why we spent all that money on Jordan Cameron. That's why we spent all that money on Julius Thomas. Didn't do anything last year, or Jordan, because he kept getting concussions. So it's something that we really need, and if we could get that element right, it would take us to the next level. We've always been right there, even though we've had losing seasons. Since Joe Philbin, and now we've always been right there, 7-9, 8-8. And if we would have had a better red zone conversion rate, at least out of, let's say, the last 7-8 years, right? Because when Tony Sperano was here, we had the same problem too. All right, so 7-8 years. If we would have had a good red zone threat, we would have made the playoffs at least 6 years. At least 6 of those years, we would have made the playoffs. So it is a big deal. Okay, so I do like these picks. With the other 4th round pick that we had here, we got Kellen Balaj. Okay, Kellen Balaj out of Arizona State. Fast guy. He runs a 4.4. Big guy, 6 foot, 6'1". He had 8 touchdowns in one game. A lot of people talk about that. It was a blowout. The defenses on both teams didn't play well at all. But he could receive. He's fast. He could run. He runs over people. He's kind of like a tough tight end, bulldozer. But also he could take it to the house. So it's good. It's they got Kenyon Drake. They got Frank Gore. And then Balaj there in the background now. If he's going to get much playing time, maybe not that much, but at least on special teams and things of this, he'll be able to contribute there. And if something happens, of course, Frank Gore, he's getting up there in age. By the way, I love that the Dolphins got Frank Gore. But he's getting up there in age, so you might want to give him a little rest here and there so that you can preserve him, right? Especially when we make the playoffs, right? You want his veteranship, so give some reps. You got to spread them out. If Kellen Balaj can go on there and do that, that would be perfect for this year, right? And I think that we did get good value because I do believe that he should have gone earlier, at least the 3rd round. Okay. All right, now let's move on. Now, the 5th round, we didn't have a pick. 6th round, we got Cornell Armstrong from Southern Miss. Okay, not Southern Miss University, Southern Miss, right? And to be honest with you, I really didn't know too much about him before we picked him. But from what I saw, he's a very quick, very twitchy guy. He runs a 4.4, 4.3 in that range. He's not very tall, but you could definitely put him in the slot, or match him up with anybody as far as speed goes. He did pretty good while he was in college. So they always say we need, you can't have enough DBs, which is true. Last year we lost Tony Lippett and Byron Maxwell. Those are 2 starters that we had the year before. 2 starters, and we didn't do that bad in the secondary. We weren't that bad in the secondary. Right, we were bad in the linebackers with the tight end in the middle, but on the edges we weren't that bad. Right, Xavier Howard did great. Actually, Tangersley they underrated him as far as last year. Not too many people even threw his way, which is extremely rare for a rookie, right? So they picked him up. And let's see how it makes it. It's a 6th round. It's all the way in the back of the draft. But he looks like he could get on the field, Hopefully he does. You can never get enough DBs. It's always good, give him a rest. Someone goes down. Hopefully not. The last couple of years, we've been getting a lot of injuries. Hopefully, But if not, it's always good to have something, especially for competition. Competition is always great in training camp. All right, now with the seventh, now we go to seventh round. We got Quinton Poling. Pooling, he's from Ohio, not Ohio State, but Ohio. All right, and he was great in college. It was a lower conference, but he was great in college. He has very good instincts. He's just not a run stuffer. He doesn't go up to the tackle. He doesn't go up to the running back and just ram into him. He just stays away a little bit. So that's why he's a seventh round pick, right? So so he could definitely do. If he can make the team, he'll probably be a special teams contributor, and add some depth for the linebackers. All right, and then with the last seventh round pick that we had two picks in the seventh round. We got Jason Sanders, New Mexico, a kicker. Okay, he wasn't the most accurate kicker. That's why we got him in the seventh round. But he has a good leg. He can kick it from the 50s. And as a rookie, that's pretty good. All right. So that's going to be a competition because after Parkey left, we do have a big hole there because Parkey was great for us last year. But hopefully we don't need our field goal kickers as much as we did in the past with this new red zone. Threat that we're trying to make here. Okay, but also even though you always need a good kicker, so that's definitely going to be interesting to see what type of kicker we're going to get. Okay, and as far as the draft goes, I think it's a great draft. I like the direction that they're heading. At least they're not doing drafts like back in the day where they were just getting picks that just didn't make sense. It was because he's the fastest or he jumps the highest. I mean, that doesn't make a football player just because he's the fastest. Can he catch? Right? Can he backpedal? Right? Can he switch his hips? Can he pivot? Can he do all these things? Is he, is his football IQ high? Not just because he's fast, right? So, I definitely like the direction they're going. The defense, I think, is changing, and I like the change because it's adjusting to the way the NFL is now, which everything's fast, everything's quick. So you need, instead of having those big linebackers, let them be big, but let them be athletic too. Let them run around. Let them go sideline to sideline. Because the running backs, the tight ends are faster, the receivers are faster, or the plays that they're doing, they're crossing them, all these things. Even the quarterbacks are getting faster, so all these things, they go into effect and you have to adjust to them, and I think they're doing rather well with their adjustments. And now with this draft, I feel like now is Adam Gaze's team. Right? Because before, when he first got the team, it was Joe Philbin's team. Most of those guys are gone. Right? I mean, Rashid Jones, Ryan Tannehill, and I mean, that's what I can think of now. That's all I can think of. Mike Pouncey's gone. Jawan James and Cameron Wake. I think that's pretty much it. Those are all the players that are left over from the Joe Philbin era. So it looks, like just like the Adam Gaze's team, which I'm excited about because I want to see it, and to me, it makes sense. I like the what he's building. Somewhat what I would build. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much it. Thank you so much. This is my first episode. I hope you liked it. If you got any comments, put them down below. And till the next one. All right.